Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Gamesline podcast. We are on episode 49, recording this February 11th, 2025. I just noticed it still says 2024 on here. Okay, we're good. We're updated. We're in current day now.
I mean, everyone always says it takes until April for it to feel like it's the new year or whatever.
I'll be honest, it kind of just... I'm in it. I'm just like, yeah, it's 2025. Yeah, I know what year it is. I was writing 2025 pretty immediately on like my checks or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like one of those. It's one of those. It's because it's a multiple of 5. I think it's like a.
I think I got better at it once I moved out of the Northeast, because it was very much a thing of like, once there stops being snow, it feels like a new year has started. Almost.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I mean, the only time that we got a little bit of snow in Texas was in January.
Mm-hmm.
In January. So that
you weren't really... like already in it.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very strange. Very strange. I mean, and it wasn't even like snow. It was one of those things where it's just like a little bit like piled up in the corners of places, basically, and that was it.
And the ice was melted. Probably, I bet, the real problem.
I wouldn't say it was like a problem, but it was visible.
Nothing as bad as like how Seattle keeps getting those increased snow waves, and they don't have the equipment to deal with it, I imagine.
Nah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure
in New Orleans, I guess, also.
And Florida a little bit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which is really fucking crazy. It was in the north of Florida, though, so it's not completely unheard of.
Yeah.
But it's still very weird to be like, oh yeah, there was snow in Florida. But we press on. Hi, it's me, John. I'm here. I'm on podcast. This time we are joined by Rose. Hello, Rose.
Hi, I'm here on the podcast.
Yes, hello. And this time we're going to talk about some of the new pressing matters that are happening in video games, such as that they did add the Golden Sun soundtrack to the Nintendo Music app.
I've been consistently surprised by what they didn't have and then what they have on that app every time I see an update for it. Like,
it's very funny.
They didn't have... Was it Mario 64 or what was it? Until semi-recently. It wasn't Mario 64, it was something...
It was Mario 64. They added Mario...
That's
they added
crazy,
Mario 64
man.
recently.
What?
Yeah.
How does that even happen?
I don't know. They have 2 GBA games. They have Golden Sun and Fire Emblem the Blazing Blade. And that's it.
Well, Golden Sun, at least, JRPG is famous for soundtracks, so... But that's still insane.
It is wild. I mean, it's got a very much a Switch lean to it now that I'm looking at it.
I had a feeling. I mean, they have Xenoblade on there, right?
No.
They don't? Oh my god. I thought they had one of them on there.
No. They have Legends Arceus.
Okay.
That just got added recently, too.
I like that song that plays at midnight.
Yeah. That's another one of those soundtracks where you don't really pay that much attention to it because it's very, very light.
It's better than fucking Breath of the Wild, though. I'll tell you that.
I was going to say, it's better than Breath of the Wild. Yes. Dang, I brought that up as a joke. We were having legitimate conversation there about that. It's a strange app. I don't really use it. I mean, the only times that I use it I used it a little bit when it came out. Because I was just like, oh, what novelty, hello. And then I got bored of it after like a little bit, and then now whenever they update a new game that has a stupid song in it, I just take a screenshot of the stupid song playing for like an hour because they have like the hour loop version of a bunch of stuff.
Every time I think of it, it just reminds me of when Smash Ultimate was coming out and Sakurai was like, you can put your Switch in sleep mode and listen to the music if you want. And it was like, okay, or I could just listen to YouTube on a phone. It feels like one of those things where it's like, obviously Nintendo loves to do the Disney IP control stuff. Obviously they want their own walled garden for everything, I mean, but it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. Sakurai totally seems like the kind of guy who has like modded consoles and shit.
He's the
and he
type
just
of
can't
guy
say
who
it.
would do that, though, also is the thing. He would just be like, yeah, I'm listening to my Nintendo Switch right now.
Exactly. Like, that's the thing, is that, like, I fully believe that he's going around with, like that his Switch is fucking homebrewed or whatever, but also that he was like, you know what? I do kind of just want to be able to listen to the songs. I could just do that. I could just have that in my game. I could tell someone to do that. They'll do it. I mean, when he was like, oh yeah, no, I have a setup for reading in my bed where it just holds a tablet above my face.
I would do that. I've thought about doing it multiple times.
Because he's right to do it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying
that's the
he's
type of
right
guy
to
he
do
is,
it.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to keep his options open. Like, yeah, what if he's trapped on a deserted island and he's got his phone and his Switch? So he's like, okay, I can listen to the Smash soundtrack for 6 hours on my phone, and then when it dies, I will still have another like hour or two of it on my Switch before I die. I don't know.
So I like that angle of like he's like an absolute survivalist panic person who is planning for every accountability. I was thinking he's like Wallace from Wallace and Gromit, where he's just creating all these like, oh, wouldn't it be wonderful? Isn't it annoying to get cheese out of the refrigerator?
It's like nobody's thinking about this. Like, no, we just
isn't it annoying when you want to listen to the ActRaiser song and you only have your Switch?
We could just go on to any 50 different websites to listen to it, including one of the largest ones. Oh boy. But that's why we love him, honestly.
Yeah, no, he's the GOAT.
Yeah. He's the GOAT. But speaking of the GOAT, actually no, what?
Cancel that.
LeBron James.
Yeah.
No, there's been a lot of video gaming stuff going on. We've got a lot of news. Not a lot of news. We got a little bit of news here. You've been playing a lot of stuff. Let's hop into some of the news here, because some of it's just insane.
Yeah.
First thing here, something that I didn't know about, but is apparently something that has been around for a while. Valve reiterated that you are not allowed to post games on Steam that make you watch an advertisement. So, yeah, any game that would, quote, provide a reward for watching or engaging with advertising in their game. That is something that I guess people just recently found out was a thing. I guess it was something that was in their
TOS, yeah.
TOS for a long time, but now people are taking notice of that. But I mean, I'm glad that that's there, you know? Like, hey, it's good that we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I mean, I hate this every time I see it in any game I try. Like, Bandori had it when I was playing Bandori.
Mm-hmm.
I remember years ago they had the watch an ad thing. I bet because they had it in the mobile version, but I wonder if it wasn't in the Steam version. That Atelier gotcha game semi recently that just shut down.
Yeah, probably
that had it on the phone version, so I wonder if it had it there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good to remove that. I know they're just doing it for legal reasons of, we can't be attached to if the thing advertises a crypto dump scheme on Steam. And but also, it's bad. It's a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've played that Infinity Nikki game, and I was scared because they had like a little play button that was like, Gook, you get rewards if you watch this video. But it was just like, watch the video of the outfit that is on the thing. It was like, okay, this is just, it's all internal. It's all fine. I saw that YouTube is back to having those ads that go on for an hour again. Something broke.
Great.
And they just like have those weird hour-long Christian video ads again.
Oh boy.
So it's good to get ahead of this stuff.
Yeah. It's one of those, man, I'm mad that I have to give people kudos for something that should just be the standard.
Default, yeah. Well, wouldn't we love to live in a world of regulation?
I sure would. Speaking of regulation, though, oh boy. So there have been a few expose articles recently on Kotaku and Aftermath and the like, talking about how there are so many just complete and total horseshit games getting shoveled onto the PlayStation Store and especially the eShop.
Yeah.
And how it seems to just be this overwhelming problem that nobody's trying to take care of. A lot of it is just, like AI bullshit or just like quick asset flips, and all the art for the web pages of just AI art and just stuff that should not be allowed on any storefront whatsoever. But IGN has, gone in a little bit more and talked to some of the folks that do cert and all that. And they're basically just saying, like, yeah, we can't really do too much because the platform is just about making sure that the code isn't going to break the console. That's really what's the problem. And it's more of an asking for forgiveness instead of permission thing is what they say in this article. Which makes it really bad because, yeah. And also, like, yeah, it's more that these games get uploaded and then they get to make a little bit of money and then, like, they'll get taken down later.
Yeah. And one of the big things I think is if you go to the PlayStation Store on the like on the console itself, there's the second tab or something is just like wish list now or something, or like upcoming games. And they've had to change the algorithm for it because what they just let you, I think that article says up on IGN, it talks about how Xbox and Nintendo both do checks throughout the process of it coming out or whatever, but Sony only does a check when the game actually comes out. So that entire section of upcoming releases, they've changed the algorithm from farthest away to coming soon to who knows what, but it never works because you can just change your release date at any time. So all of these fake games just completely take up the entire tab because they set it to either be it's coming out tomorrow if it's the newer one and they just change that every single day, or it's coming out in 10 years and then they just change it depending on how the algorithm changes. And it's just like, man, like, come on.
Now, like, I'm looking at the screenshot from IGN of the PlayStation Store. And here's some bangers on here. We got Doctor Simulator, which just has an AI art thing. We have a game called Lethal Corpo.
I love Lethal Corpo because the description for Lethal Corpo, when you go through, it says it's a single player game, and then it just copies the Lethal Company description. So it just says like, fight with your friends or whatever.
We have two separate kebab games directly next to each other that are both using AI art. There's a game called Perpetual Mouthwashing, which is just like, like your grandma getting confused and picking up the wrong thing, pretty much. It's not good. There needs to be better. Yeah, there needs to be something.
The combination of that, and then also over on the eShop, I know that they have that thing where there's like 7,000 games perpetually on sale. On the actual Confluence structure, they hide these games from the website, which I think is crazy. If you go to like the official Nintendo website or whatever, but if you're on the console itself, the sale tab is like completely useless because it's just like everything is always on sale for 6 cents off or something.
Or yeah, it's some AI slop game or some like asset flip thing that they threw together in 3 days, and of course they can get away with charging like 50 cents for it. But they they list it as like a $10 game, put it on sale for 50 cents, and just do that forever. And it's like, yeah, if like 30 people buy it, they're gonna be turning a profit. It's just, it's bad.
It's really bad.
There definitely needs to be something more. And yeah, it seems that Sony did take a little bit of action in which they
developer
got rid of one developer, but that's like, I don't know, just like taking down a single soldier in an army, basically. Like,
I just remember whether it was like 10 years ago or something when the PlayStation 4 had that fucking tiger game, the Black Tiger or whatever. Yes. And I just remember everyone being like, this is insane that they let this be on here. And it's like, well, get 15 of those a day now. Like, it's crazy. Nothing has changed. I blame Steam. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think it was good that Steam got rid of Greenlight for a lot of reasons, obviously, but opening the floodgates was a horrible idea if they're not going to have dedicated moderators or like people who are actually managing what goes on that platform, because people can say things like, you know, oh yeah, they banned AI on Steam or whatever, and it's like, okay, if you say so, like, you can't actually prove that because there's tons of it everywhere. You can see it very easily if you go to like the new releases on there. But
right.
I just think if we're going to have to live in this hellish world where all games press is just talking about sales figures and how everything is always making more of a profit and stuff like that, they should have to do literally anything. They should have to do literally anything on these platforms to control, have quality control of any kind.
Agreed. And one last thing about people in charge fucking it up. I'm still enjoying playing Pokemon TCG Pocket. Let me just say, I'm logging in every day, opening up my packs, going on and doing some battles here and there. I got a Skarmory deck going right now. I don't know if anyone listening plays TCG Pocket. That Skarmory deck is pretty solid. It's very simple. It's pretty low to the ground too, so you don't got to worry too much about, like having to build up to like 4 energy or something to start actually being able to do damage. But one thing about TCG Pocket that is insane is the new trading system that they added. They just added it within the last week and a half. I want to say, it was like last week. And it's bad. It's not good. It's not good the way that they do it. I'm going to be honest. I kind of would have just rather they didn't have the trading, because it's just such a weird mess that it's better that they don't do it. Because some of it I understand, where you have to trade cards of the same rarity, which is a little bit of a frustration thing where it's just like, I can't just give my friend a card. Like if I have like 6 of some rare card and a buddy of mine needs it to complete their collection or whatever, like I'd give that to them, like I do that in real life, just like, oh, hey, you need this, whatever. But I also understand why they don't do that, because they don't want people like scamming kids. They don't want to be like, oh, hey, trust me, like this Weedle is a good card for your deck. You can trade me that Charizard EX, Mewtwo EX or whatever. I get that. But they also have added on to top of this that you need trade tokens and a stamina thing going on. And the tokens are the most fucked up thing ever. So if you want to get trade tokens, like you need to pay a certain amount of trade tokens per trade. So you have to spend like, if you're doing a low rarity card, like a diamond, like the diamonds, a 1 or 2 diamond, you don't have to spend any trade tokens. A 3, it's 120, 4 is 500, and a 1-star card is 400. And to get enough to trade something like that, you have to basically trash cards. So you get 25 trade tokens if you trash a 3 diamond card. So you don't even, it's not even equivalent. If you want to trade 1 3 diamond card, like an uncommon basically, you have to trash 5 uncommons to trade 1. If you want to trade a 4 diamond, which is like a step above an uncommon, that's 500 tokens, and 4 diamonds give you 125, so you have to trash like 4 of them to trade 1 again. And then a 1-star you trash. It's about a 4-to-1 ratio now that I'm looking at this. A 1-star gives you 100 trade tokens when you trash it, and you can only go up to a 1-star. But if you want, you could trash a 2-star card or a 3 or a crown, which crowns are like the super ultimate rare, like full arts and stuff like that. That gives you 1,500. But you would just be trashing that. You would just be destroying it to get trade points.
Just to get points, yeah. Baffling. I feel like so many of these systems are just designed to be punitive. Like, and it's just like sort of like a why? Like, it's just why?
It's absolutely just something that I don't want to deal with whatsoever. Like, I remember when they announced it, I was kind of gearing up to be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I'll trade with some friends. I'll, help them fill out some of the holes in their collection, see if they'll help me out with that. But then the fact that it was like, okay, here's a card that I don't have. And then I was talking to like one of my friends and was just like, okay, here's something that I don't have. Do you have it? And they said, yeah, okay, sure. And then they were like, well, here's something that I don't have, and it's a completely different rarity. So it's just like, okay, yeah, we can't, like, we don't have any overlap then. It's just, we just can't do it when those cards mean the same thing. Like, I understand if it's like, okay, yeah, you don't want to trade like a fucking Mewtwo EX for a, I don't know, like a Haunter or something. But when it's like, yeah, here's my Haunter, trade it to me for your Graveler. I mean, I'm doing trade evolution Pokemon, but like, it's just like, yeah, this one is arbitrarily a 3 diamond and the other one is a 4 diamond, and so we just can't trade them, even though they're basically the same power level, the same type of card. It's just, no, just you can't trade those. Like, it's crazy. So they did announce that they are going to revamp it in some way. They did not say how. They did not elaborate whatsoever on any of that. But they are just kind of throwing trade tokens at you. Like, again, I haven't used any. I haven't done any trading. Let me see if I can tell you how many trade tokens I have just from them, like, gifting them. Let me see if that's something that like populates. I have 1,600, which means I can trade whatever the goddamn hell I want, but I don't really care to, because there's nothing I really want or need that would be tradable. I don't know. Very weird. We'll get this last bit of news here later, but Rose, you've been doing a ton of gaming.
Oh yeah.
Let's hear it. What's going on? You did rate a review for the website recently.
Oh,
you can talk about that if you want, or you can talk about other stuff. I'm not gonna be too picky about it.
Why not? I played Of the Devil, which is I guess I would say I wrote about it before. I think I've talked about it on the podcast when I played the demo. Last year, they had a demo that was basically the prologue for it. It's a visual novel, but it's more in line with an Ace Attorney style visual novel than like let's say a Fata Morgana or something, or a Fate. It's very much you do interrogations, cross examinations, look around a 3D environment like Somnium Files, and then find the things that you need to use as talking points for conversations and stuff. But it's wrapped up in this nice cyberpunky aesthetic and sensibility. And it's really good. If you know, I'm always complaining about how a lot of cyberpunk stuff doesn't really get it. I think everyone is, not just me. Everyone's always complaining about how a lot of cyberpunk stuff doesn't really get it, as it were. Like, we are very much in an era that is adjacent to a lot of the ideas suggested in old cyberpunk style works, that when you end up just reading things like playing a Cyberpunk 2077 and they have to invent so much absurd nihilism, right? It's like you end up with this thing that just feels detached from anything that's actually relatable beyond broad strokes of, aren't corporations bad? I think you should do a little better than that, I think, these days, basically. And I think this game does that really well. You play as like a defense attorney named Morgan, and I don't want to spoil too much of the game, but she's like a little twisted with it, let's say. So yes, there's this really fun dynamic that I really like in this game where you go around with your little Ace Attorney partner, who's this little robot girl, in this first episode. That's the one I reviewed. And you go around and you do the normal Ace Attorney investigations, and then later, and during those investigations, you are doing like pretty straightforward, like, you know, standard, like, oh, how did this happen? What, really? Did this happen? You know, kind of polite to a degree. But then later you do all the investigations again at the same places alone. And she's just like threatening people. She's like using all the information to like blackmail people into answering all of her questions and doing all this stuff. And I really like that because I think that captures the cyberpunk vibe of like people in this society kind of have to adjust to be like this, even if they want to be optimistic and have a level of optimism. And I think that they really reflect that through their readable system, which is my favorite thing, where they basically, every time a key term comes up in a like conversation or something, it'll slide into your phone in the top left of the screen, and you can just open your phone and it immediately has a little like Wikipedia entry explaining what that term means and like what its context is in the current state of the world and stuff like that. So they have like older terms like you know, the right to repair. They explain right to repair. Yes, but they use it through the context of how has right to repair changed in 80 years, because this takes place in like the 2080s. Like how has that, how has the fight changed? Have there been any concessions? Is it really just become like this thing of like, yeah, basically it's still a gray area the same way it ever was, but like what does the court case look like? What is all this? And it has just a lot of really interesting things that it does with that, and it's all really smartly written that you can tell the people who wrote this game genuinely understand like what causes things like cyberpunk in fiction. Like how would a cyberpunk actually happen in our society? Like in our society that has like these oligarchs controlling things and fascism, and how those constructs would interact with each other, and how would it actually meaningfully affect like the average working class person. Right. Because that first episode, the demo, had like your case was basically like, oh, this worker guy who has a robot arm was framed for murder. Like, how do you solve it? And they kind of spend a lot of time explaining like, hey, he doesn't have a robot arm because he can't afford the medicine to like fight the autoimmune response to having a robot arm. So then he has to send his robot arm to get fixed in. So then he has this. So then he can't actually do this murder because he doesn't have dexterity in his like replacement arm or whatever that he has to have because his real arm is in the shop or whatever. They have a lot of like just really detailed and thoughtful stuff like that I really like. It's really cool. I really, really like it. I think if you like Ace Attorney, you'll really like this. Because it hits all the same notes, and then my favorite thing was it doesn't have any of the repetition of Ace Attorney that I think not just Shu Takumi, but especially that other writer whose name is escaping me that wrote Investigations. But they have this habit of like making sure you really get it, making sure you like you really, really get it. And I'm not going to say this game is like the most subtle game in the world. It's pretty straightforward and you can figure out how everything works. But it's so snappy, and they spend that time that would be spent reiterating like plot details to make sure you really get it on character work instead. So you end up with a lot more fun characters than you would in like an Ace Attorney case. Like, a lot more concrete characters, I should say. Because Ace Attorney characters are always fun, but you know, sometimes those characters have 20 lines total.
Yeah.
And it feels like they did a good job with everyone here.
Yeah, so I did actually, before we started recording, I did download and fuck around a little bit with the demo, and something that I thought was really good, but really funny at the same time was, and you mention it in your review, is that they give you like little like articles to read too for world building. And then after you read it, they give you like a reading comprehension quiz.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
And they give you a little bonus if you get it right.
Yeah, because
it's so good.
Because the whole thing is, I guess I didn't mention this. Like the whole thing is premised on gambling aesthetics, kind of. It's like you're getting chips, and then you have to bet or stay your hand on certain conversations and stuff like that. And they let you fuck up, obviously, but only so much because you have to like you could lose all your chips, right? If you really get drilled, which matters more in the first episode than it does in the demo. But so yeah, the fact they give you like extra chips to work with because you can read, I really like that a lot. I think it literally pops an achievement called like media literacy test or something. I really liked that. Media literate, yeah.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very good.
It's also just a good idea in general. Like I think like it incentivizes reading the things, where a lot of games just kind of throw it at you and are like, do it if you want to.
No, this is real.
Yeah, it's a really good game. I really liked it. I think the creators have posted a bunch of like, I remember when the demo came out, they were posting like character inspiration grids or whatever. I really like all the characters they attached to their characters. So I think it's very obvious when you get especially into episode 1 that there are a lot of things they are inspired by, like Umineko and Somnium Files, etc. But it's like, it doesn't feel like a bad indie send up. It feels like, no, I like these things and here's my take on it, kind of. And I think it works really well for them. It never feels too cloying. Like they make a couple like direct jokes. Like obviously they make a joke in that first episode where it's like Morgan's birthday is December 26th. So I think you can guess what joke they might make about that, of almost Christmas.
Yes.
but it's like, that's fine because it doesn't come off as like annoying. It's like, yeah.
We're being cute. We're not being selfish. Yeah.
I like also because they kind of put all the jokes onto like the Zoomer ass robot girl who's your assistant in the second one in episode 1. So it just kind of comes off as like she's being annoying because she's like a kid who just found out about a meme and she's just saying it and everyone else is like, man, come on. I think they are really good at integrating everything. You'll see there's a twist at the end of the prologue that sets up like kind of what the direction of the whole thing will be, and I really like that twist and I really like that idea, and I'm curious to see how it ends up panning out in the later entries, because episode 1, despite being like the second thing of this, is still doing a lot of setup work because they have to introduce more characters. That prologue is kind of just, you're getting introduced to the detectives and stuff and Morgan, which is important, but you're not getting like the broader world and like how it relates to it. Which they do a lot, and they do it really well. I think they do it really well in that first episode. They kind of like veer into like the sort of like, how do you almost robot racism, I want to say, for lack of a better word, stuff. But it's like, again, the people writing this are smart, so it never comes off as like stupid. It comes off as like genuinely interesting speculative fiction of like, what does it mean to give robots rights in this society? Kind of, that's already like, people barely have rights. What does that mean? And it's really interesting. I think they can go a lot of ways with it, especially with how they set things up at the end of that first episode. I like that it's episodic also, honestly. I love serialized fiction in general. I like having little chunks, and then I can look forward to having more of it in the future. That's kind of why I play all these wretched gacha games, is like I can just like be like, all right, I finished the 4-hour story or whatever for this patch. Now I can just wait 2 months and then there'll be another one. And it works really well for something like this, since there's obviously self-contained to an extent cases. Yeah, it's neat. Highly recommend it. It's also like really cheap. The first episode is like $10, I think. I don't know if it's still on sale right now, but it's definitely worth it. It's like a 7-hour or so game, I think. And there's a lot of writing in there, and I think all of it's good.
Well, I will play through that whole pre-prologue thing and get back to you.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about another thing before I talk about one?
Sure. I can do a real quick one.
Go ahead.
Which is just Monster Hunter World. I've been replaying it with my girlfriend because that new Monster Hunter is coming out at the end of the month. We've been doing this for months, so it's not like I was all of a sudden like at the beginning of the month, yeah, let me do all of Monster Hunter World. But I decided to go back to it because I was really high on Rise when it came out, which is the one they made for the Switch and everything. It's the current one. Because it was made by the Portable team of Monster Hunter developers, so it's a lot more arcadey. You had the Spider-Man web stuff that everyone had, right? Where you could like swing around and you had a bunch of extra moves and stuff you could do. And I liked that arcadiness. But when I finished the expansion for that, I was kind of feeling like, man, this game is really easy because they gave you Spider-Man powers, kind of like it's nice to have these powers and it feels really good, but they kind of nerfed some of the monsters in general, which is kind of what the portable team does a lot. But it's just like they nerfed them and also made the player really strong. So it just ends up making everything feel really easy. So going back to Monster Hunter World, and especially getting into the expansion and replaying it, made me go like, oh, right, like they could make hard fights here. And I do miss some of those powers, but I think it's making me more excited for Wilds being made by the Monster Hunter World team, because it's like, no, there are cool ideas here. Like there's sort of like base building almost, and all these like things that you do that aren't just I'm getting the... Like, I think Rise also, like, sort of diluted the how much you need to grind, which is fine in a vacuum, obviously, conceptually. But it's like a thing of, like, all right, I kind of just fight these monsters once, and then I have enough for a full armor set in that game. Whereas here, it's like, oh, we have to fight this monster more than once, so let's look at all of these different quests where that monster appears that will all have different results and different locations and stuff like that. That makes it be like, all right, it doesn't feel like much of a grind because we're still like knocking other things out at the same time. That I think Rise kind of lost a little bit of. But it's neat. I've been playing it on the Steam Deck, and I'm still surprised when anything that is 3D and high definition runs on the Steam Deck. But it's run really well there, and I'm still surprised how many people are online in that game. And also that everyone who's left online in that game, when you try to get randoms to help you, are all named insane things. So like last night, I was fighting a random old boss that's super hard or whatever. Get something. Get the Dante outfit, because they have the Dante outfit in that game. But these two guys joined with their cats, and the guys were joined were named Squanderer and Plunderer. And their cats were named Chinese Cleaver and Garlic Press. And I was like, who are these guys? Like, why are you named that? Why are you Squanderer? It was very strange. And then like yesterday I got a guy that was just named the Ultimate Devil. And he was dressed like an old school samurai. And he was just doing all the samurai emotes every 5 seconds. And it was just like, these guys are cool. I was just surprised that there are still people like that around in that game. Because again, Rise is newer. Like Monster Hunter World is from like 2017, 16, 17, I think. But it's fun. It's been fun playing it in co-op, especially, even though that game feels kind of designed to circumvent co-op because they make you watch cutscenes for a quest before you can do multiplayer in it. And it's like the cutscenes aren't even that interesting. It's like a monster roaring at you. But they make you go in and then do all that stuff. But it's like, well, you know, ignoring all that, it's really nice. It's fun to have co-op, especially like my girlfriend uses the guns in Monster Hunter. So it's nice having me be like a melee person, and then she can just stay in the background and shoot them a million times. It's neat. I'm really curious to see how that new Monster Hunter Wilds turns out, because the beta was fine, but it's a situation where I don't know. I assume you've heard that it runs pretty bad on computers, and that they're working on...
Sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah. I played on the PlayStation, so it wasn't that bad, right? But it was still like, I'm playing on the PlayStation and it's 40 FPS, and I'm like, why? Why? But it feels like my only concern with Wilds is mainly that it seems like they've gone for a fidelity focus, and it's like, man, who cares? Like, that is not why people are playing Monster Hunter, dude. I know there's all the joke posts like, buddy, I want to fuck the monsters or whatever, but it's like, come on, like, they were fine fucking the monsters when they were polygons on the PS2. We don't need hair textures to be individual. Monster Hunter's good. I assume it's like an anti-John game, conceptually, almost, but...
Yeah, I tried World and I didn't like it very much.
It's very slow.
It's very slow.
Yeah, I think in general what I've noticed, not to psychoanalyze you, John, but I've noticed you're not a big fan of like the animation priority based action games.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I just want to do stuff.
No, and I understand you as the character action gamer. Obviously, I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. Sometimes you just want to do something. You just want to launch some guy in the air and do a million attacks and not have to think about it.
Sure, and I mean, like, I respect it. It's just also just needing to have like a squad too. And all that.
And they always get ahead of you if you try to. That was my problem for years with Monster Hunter. Was my girlfriend Natalie loves to just go ahead, get way far ahead, and then it's like, but yeah,
right. All right. Well, I got a very random urge recently. I don't know why.
I was surprised by this.
I kind of know why, because I had it. I bought it, and I was like, for like $20 on sale recently, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try this. I hopped on Fire Emblem Engage. I'm not a big strategy guy. I enjoyed what I played of Three Houses. I got to like the second to last fight, and then it was too hard, so I stopped playing it. I might give it another try though after I play through Engage, maybe. I don't know, but so far I'm digging Engage. I'll just say up front, yeah, I'm digging what I'm playing so far. I don't care about the story.
Yeah.
Everyone I know keeps telling me, "Oh, the story's bad. It's bad. It's a bad story." I'm not that far. I just finished the first fight that you have with somebody who has a dark emblem.
Oh yes.
Yeah, there's some like shitty girl
red
version has
of
red Lucina, and it's very funny. And I'll be honest, just because like I know a good amount about Fire Emblem just from osmosis, especially through Smash Brothers. And it is I do have a little bit of fun when they start talking about an emblem, and then I can just be like, oh, okay, that's Roy. Oh, that's gonna be Micaiah. All right, I know I know who it is, and it's fun. I'm sure that people who are way more into Fire Emblem are just like, whatever.
I loved it. When they were like, Micaiah is with the rogue girl, I was like, this is awesome, because Micaiah has a rogue boy in the other game, so it was like Ludo narrative. It's beautiful.
Yes, it's good. And I had seen the rogue girl around, and I thought she was going to be very annoying. But
she's goated.
She's actually goated because she's acting she's acting all ditzy because she's evil.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's good.
I love. Yeah, it's like fun. You hear Haya Papaya in a vacuum, and you're like, okay, yeah, let's go. And then you just see her be like, and it's like, all right, yeah.
Yeah, she's just like she's putting up a front. And then, like, yeah, as soon as she kills someone on the field, she's like turning around and she's just like, the darkness overtakes me and shit like that. Like, I'm just like, oh, okay, all right, here we go. We got something here.
I think the story is bad, to be clear. I never finished that. I'm actually you playing it made me be like, God, I should finish it. Because I ended up getting stopgapped by I shared the copy with my girlfriend, and she was like, I want to do the DLC. Let's get the DLC. And then I was like, all right, I'll wait for all the DLC to come out in the middle of my playthrough.
Yeah, I got the DLC because again,
it's like good DLC. It's really good.
Yeah, no, it's fun because they give you some more options and stuff. I don't have a full list of everything that you get. I did get I got 2 of the DLC characters because one of the characters they're in bracelets now instead of rings, I guess. One of them is just all 3 of the characters from Three Houses.
I love it.
Which is it's very funny. Like, they're just bickering immediately. It's very good. And then the second one is Tiki. It's specific. I guess it's specifically Tiki from Shadow Dragon because she talks about Marth and all that. But the cool thing is that they give you a whole map that you have to go through to basically recruit her. It's a good map. Yeah, it was really fun to play through.
The Soren one is crazy. I really liked it. I think it was the Soren one. Either Soren or Camilla. They came out at the same time.
Okay.
But
well, I mean,
really good.
I look forward to giving it a shot. Like I'm just having a good time. I think they did a good balance of in and out of combat. Like, you're able to really get your characters pumped up pretty well, but it's not in a way that makes it cheap. It's like, oh yeah, this guy didn't hit that level up in between, like in the last battle. I could just like push him over the edge real quick, so that way we can do something. We can have him be stronger for the next fight. That kind of stuff. I appreciate that. It's not that like you can just go into some mode and grind experience like crazy. I'm sure that there's something in there, especially with the DLC, but it feels balanced. It feels very balanced, and I don't hate all the characters. I will say a lot of them are extremely one note, and that is something that is kind of how Fire Emblem is, but it is especially prevalent in this one.
I think it was written by the Fates writers, the thing is like, I think even though the story's bad, I really end up liking a lot of the character interactions, because even if they're one note, they go for like an insane concept for a support conversation with that one note. Like, they'll just like mash up these two one note characters and they'll have an insane conversation about something in a way that works really well, I think. But the Fate style of writing is very much I feel like it exists entirely for mashing the dolls together style of thought, which I'm usually fine with. But I understand why a lot of people, especially after Three Houses, where they're a lot more, Three Houses, they're writing rich lore about that entire house history for a character, right? And then this one's more like, Eddie loves lifting weights. And it's like, yep.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like nobody here is gonna have is gonna talk about their abusive parents.
Yeah.
How they were tortured in like the lab.
Yeah,
in the dungeons for years and years. It's just like, nah, we're just all kind of hanging out. It's fine.
Yeah. And I definitely understand why after Three Houses people would be like, but I was like, yeah, I mean, like you said, Fire Emblem before Three Houses is kind of just like that.
Always like that, yeah.
Like, even Awakening, everyone goes, oh, Awakening's great, and then you watch an Awakening conversation and Crom's like, hi. I go, hi, Crom. I fight for my friends. I know that's Ike's thing, but Crom also says it.
I mean, they just
all
Ike,
fucking say it, yeah.
He's just straight Ike, like...
Yeah, and then you can get Ike in that game.
You can get like Ike's kid in Awakening.
Oh yeah, you can.
You know that crazy shit? Yeah. Or like his descendant or whatever.
Yeah, his weird descendant.
However that works. Yeah, Ike and Soren figured out how to do Mpreg with magic.
Thank
God. That's what I choose to believe.
Oh, you'll love when you get... I mean, I loved when I got it. You'll probably think it's funny, too. When you get Soren and everything Soren says in every conversation is like, I don't care. Where's Ike? I don't care. That's great. I didn't ask for your opinion.
I saw like one scene where, it's just like one of the characters is just like, yeah, Soren, it's great to talk to, because all the like regular character talking to Emblem things are usually just like two sentences where it's just like them being like, it's so nice to talk to you, and then someone else is just like, I'm glad that you're here. Let's continue to work together. But yeah, I just saw the one clip where it's like someone just being like, I'm excited to talk to you more, Soren. You seem cool, and he's just like, I don't know where you thought that I needed to hear your opinion.
They have like multi stages for it. I think they have 2 or 3. I don't remember conversations.
Okay.
But there's one I don't think you have Gold Mary yet.
No. I did fight her.
Okay. She's a character who's like super egotistical, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Is her whole bit. And she just like tries to get Soren to compliment her, and Soren's just like, oh, you want me to praise you? All right, here's all the things you did wrong in that last fight, and and how it could have been worse, I guess. And she just starts crying.
That's good. That's really good. I know there's all the rumors that they're remaking Genealogy, but I do hope that they port and or remake the Radiance games.
They need to. They're the best ones. I love those. Were my favorite ones for years and years and years. I always say the thing of like I begged and pleaded with a video store clerk to let me just buy Radiant Dawn when it came out because there were no There were like 70 copies in the entire country, and they got one, and I was like, please, and they did.
There you go.
And I wish I hadn't sold it now. Let me tell you.
That is the continued cry of us all. Oh my god. Hate retro game market so much. Please pop. Please pop, bubble. Oh man. Okay, but July, man, I can't wait to go to the retro game convention again now. I'm gonna not because I'm like gonna make money off of it. I'm excited to see if I can get some deals because it's fun. I do work there too. That shit's like, I mean, that's when I do stuff for Old School Gamer. They have me hand out pamphlets, which I don't mind. That's fine.
Oh, but yeah, I'm glad you liked this game because I really liked the gameplay of it a lot. I thought that the whole henching thing is like great, just like turning into the special forms, and then like. They give you tools that you would normally only get at the end of a Fire Emblem game super early in that, like the super far teleport that you can do when you're in the transform pose for that one character, Celica emblem stuff.
Yes.
It's great. It feels really good.
With Tiki, you could just turn your character into a fucking dragon. You could turn any character into a dragon.
Yeah, it's great.
I actually took Micaiah off of what's her name and put Tiki onto her just because I thought that would be a little bit more fun. Because what I'm using Micaiah for, so I'm pretty sure I think it's Celica, I don't remember, but it's one of those two women has the like ability that just it's their one of their like specials or whatever where it puts the character's health to 0 or to 1 and it heals everybody else. And so I put that emblem onto the trainee unit, the one that you're supposed to like level up a bunch in order to, that has like incredible stats once they actually level up. So you could just get crazy levels on him, like just out of nowhere, just boom, boom, boom. And I mean, he's a healer anyway. So it's fine. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to actually change his class or whatever. Like I'm sure I could if I want to, but Modern Fire Emblem is so malleable that it doesn't matter that much. Like, I have like 3 other healers, but I mean, he is a really good healer, so I might just keep him as a healer and then see what else happens. It's fine. That's the fun of it, is how malleable it is. And then, I mean, I'll just say real quick, the other thing that I've been doing is I have been trying to complete my Pokédexes. I am almost done with the Scarlet and Violet Pokédex. Specifically, I have the main Pokédex done, but I need to get the DLC Pokédexes, which is a bit more of a hassle because a good amount of people that I know just have not played the DLCs. So I'm just like, they actually have version exclusive Pokemon for the DLCs, which I didn't think they did. I was a little upset about that, but like, I can't just catch a Gligar. I need to trade with somebody. And the thing is I have to transfer them over to home, because if you get the complete Pokédexes, they give you a shiny, I think they're mythicals. I think they're mythicals. I think for Scarlet and Violet, it's like a Meloetta. Yeah, Meloetta's mythical. Yeah. And then they have Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I think it's Manaphy. And then for Legends Arceus, it's fucking Enamorous, which I'm not exactly jumping for joy about that, but I should finish that Pokédex. I should go back to those games and just wrap it up. But also, because I got the Shiny Charm, I've been running into Shinies like fucking crazy. I got 3 last night, and then today I started the game up and literally immediately found another one.
I was having that experience in my Scarlet and Violet DLC once I was like, because I got the shiny charm whatever forever ago, and then like I didn't play it at all until the DLC came out. I think both DLCs, and I was just like, holy shit! There's so many shiny Pokemon randomly showing up. There was a time where I just walked, I saw a shiny Snubble. And I was like, damn, and I caught it. And then just walking in the background while I was catching it, while the ball was rolling, I saw a shiny Snover just walking. And I was like, holy shit.
That pretty much happened to me. I ran into a shiny Galarian Slowpoke, which I was pretty excited about.
I liked seeing that, yeah.
Which, it had a perfect nature, too, which, like, doesn't matter that much because, you know, you could change the natures and all that. But hey, right out of the box, modest nature. I'm going to evolve it into a Galarian Slowking because that's a really good Pokemon. And then I finished catching it and I walked over to the water and there was a shiny Finneon just sitting there. Like, literally right there. So, I mean, from what I've read, it's like a 1 in, like, 1,000 something chance with the charm. But that's still fucking crazy, you know? Like, that's back to back. That's still, like, an insane chance. That's, like, multiplied by a ton. So, I don't know. Yeah, I got a shiny Exeggutor before that, but I did use a sandwich for that one, so that one's not that special. I was trying to get either a Snivy or a Rowlet, but Exeggutor can also spawn there, so I got an Exeggutor. And then today, I literally just turned the game on and I spawned directly in front of a shiny Chansey. Just right in front of one. I was just like, oh, okay, good morning. Like, it was fucking insane.
I know that the, seeing them in the overworld has obviously increased how much you would see them in general, but it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's so crazy.
It's good. I like it. I think it's great. But
yeah, it's fun, you know? Like, there's always been ways to make it more available. I'm glad, it's not 100% still, so it's still something that you can strive for if you really want to. And, I mean, I know that there's people who think that it's like, diluting it or whatever, but I would say the only thing that's actually like quote unquote diluting it would probably be Pokemon Go, because they just hand you those things like fucking candy. It's way too much. But also, I don't care. It's fine. Whatever. It's a model on a thing. I like to chase after them, and making it a little bit easier is fine. That just means that I'm not as insane for doing it, I guess. Rose, okay, here, let's do this last news thing, and then you can talk about what else you've been playing.
Sure.
All right, so here is something that I was not expecting. The ESA has announced what seems to be E3 2, potentially, of some kind. They announced something called the Interactive Innovation Conference that they're calling, I don't know if they're calling it like Econ or what. It's just IICon. Well, they're saying it's a first of its kind event, so I guess maybe it's not like E3. But there's just, it's saying that they're having just interactive entertainment conference in Vegas next year, April 27th to the 30th. Everyone's gonna be there. Like, they got Amazon, Disney, EA, Epic, Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony, Square Enix, Take-Two, Ubisoft, WB. It doesn't really, it doesn't really explain what it is. Yeah, Xbox is gonna be, everyone's gonna be there. It's
I'm
invitation
wondering if it's
only.
like a CES style thing, almost, instead of E3.
Yeah, here, it says, the Interactive Innovation Conference from the ESA explores the transformative potential of video games and interactive entertainment across industries, bringing together visionaries, thought leaders, and innovators. Econ offers exclusive insights. Like,
I guess it's just like
right.
a AAA-focused GDC, since
sure,
GDC leans, and I'm putting big air quotes around this one, leans towards the independent scene.
Yeah, it says that they'll have speakers, programming, event access, and if they're like specifically highlighting speakers, I guess you're right. That
And it makes sense because, like, I think the biggest thing people talk about the loss of E3 is you hear a lot of developers talk about that moment where a conversation happens, right? Where all of a sudden, like, your Kingdom Hearts get made and stuff like that.
Yes.
And I understand why, especially in the bigger money sphere, they would want to try to recreate that, if not, having E3 directly, since E3, I don't think they should have opened it to the public as much as they did.
No.
I think that's kind of their downfall. And
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm evil, and I think that they should bring E3 back. I think the time has passed. I don't think they can, but they shouldn't have gotten rid of it. They shouldn't have opened it to the public like they did.
Yeah.
They, and I'm not saying that to be like we don't want your unwashed masses around. I kind of am in a sense, just because, I have been to E3 multiple times, and it was work. I was going to appointments, I was talking to people, I was being shown things, I was writing, I was talking about things on podcasts, and then just having people there who are there to
play a Fallout 4 demo, and that's it.
Which, that's not bad, but they should do that at, they should have that at PAX. They should have that at a separate thing. They had E for All back in the day. I remember that. Have a separate thing for people. Don't, because I remember E for All because that was when all the Brawl heads were going crazy because they had Brawl playable there, and they were posting notes and shit. They were here's all the assist trophies we saw. Here's what this character's move did and all that stuff. That was fun. I remember that. But that's what I'm saying. It should be a separate thing. Have an event where people can go, but also have a thing where business people can have meetings and journalists can do their job. That's how a healthy market works. How this industry have been doing it for years and years and years. And because they want to pivot to fucking streaming and influencers, now it's just dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we don't have specific days that things are happening. We can't build schedules around stuff. It's just I don't know. Someone's going to announce something eventually. As much as we sort of like Nintendo Directs, or at least I can say I kind of like them, it was way better when it was just, we know when we're going to learn about things. We can chart out a good idea, when we had the Game Awards and E3 and maybe one or two other things. It's okay, here's where we're gonna get this information. And now people are I heard there's gonna be a Nintendo Direct this month. I heard there's gonna be a State of Play this week. Fucking kid, just tell me what, show me the fucking games. I don't care. And all this stuff with leakers and stuff, I don't mind being leaked things, but also, people are just so fucking weird about it. The leakers and the people who like them are weird, and then the people that are pissed off that things are leaking are kind of weird. Because I'm just I don't fucking when I see people being oh my god, I can't believe they leaked that. Oh, I wish I could have learned about it during the conference or during the stream. It's the same fucking information. You're getting it. I don't understand why people I guess you can kind of feel for the marketers a little bit, the people who are trying.
I will feel nothing for the marketers, but no, I get what you mean.
Yeah, it's just that's literally the only thing. It's just not for the higher up suit marketers, just the people that are trying to come up with cool ways to show something off. Putting together trailers and coming up with
I just think
marketing campaigns and stuff.
In this AAA space, specifically Sony and Nintendo, I can't even say Microsoft because they don't do anything. But it's just specifically I don't care. It's a giant money project. It's going to happen. These people who are making it aren't getting a choice of when they're getting to show it, right? So it's if it gets leaked, who cares? Whatever. But then it's
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with this. I'm so sick of it. I think the insularity of letting everyone have their own directs and everything is terrible. I think it's made everything way, way worse. I think it leads to... I think this is why we've seen the upsurge in console warriors again, genuinely.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they ever went away. They've always been around, obviously. But I think recently I've been flabbergasted by the Nintendo and Sony people, especially. Honestly... The Xbox guys are the scariest ones because, again, I don't even think there's anything going on over there. So every time they appear, I get really scared.
Yeah.
But it's just I don't understand how you care about this stuff. It's that was kind of why every time we would talk about Switch leaks over the years, I would get mad because it's I don't care about what the Switch is. I care about seeing these games. I care about seeing, like, what does it mean to have a Switch 2? But all of the conversations are focused around a Switch 2 existing. And it's like, well, of course a Switch 2 exists. Obviously. Obviously this thing exists, but then that's the limit of the conversation. The limit of the conversation is an article once a week where they say, oh, it might be coming soon. And it's just like, what is the point of that?
Yeah, and then all the information that gets leaked is all the specs and stuff, which is a little interesting, but then that just kind of adds more to the fire because it's just like, oh, is the Switch 2 as powerful as the Steam Deck? It's like, dog, yeah. I don't care. Like, I want it.
It's going to be the only place you can play Mario.
Yeah, I want to buy it because I want to buy a new Mario. That's why I'm going to buy it. Like, if Nintendo started putting Mario games on another console, then it's going to be whatever console I already have, or whichever one I end up just randomly getting, you know? Like, I have all the consoles, but, you know, like, I do that because I kind of lucked into it, but if I didn't have an Xbox, I wouldn't be going out of my way to get Xbox stuff. I'd just be getting everything on PS5. I'd be waiting for Indiana Jones to come out on PS5. I mean, I don't even have that yet, but it's just like, you just wait. And then, yeah, like, because I'm such a Nintendo head, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna play Mario and Pokemon and all the other shit that's gonna just be on that, because it's just on that. Just that simple. It's weird. Ooh, okay, but speaking of leaks, though, I did just see, hey, Rose, how do you feel about Sonic Racing?
I'm ambivalent to it. I thought it was really funny when they had Kiryu in the car.
Okay, well, I guess some stuff just got leaked for the new Sonic Racing game.
The Sonic and Shadow one?
The Sonic Racing Cross Worlds.
Okay, so it will be the multi... I hope.
It does... I'm not seeing any other, like, franchises in it. But from what I'm seeing, I guess you're just going to be able to, like, race in a bunch of crazy shit. I think it's Cross Worlds because you're going to, like, a bunch of different places in the Sonic universe.
Okay.
And they do show the Hawk. It's Jet, right? Jet the Hawk.
Oh my god!
And he's on the board, so you can race. Okay, there is another picture here, and it does have Sonic on a board, so you can do Sonic Riders skateboard or boards in this game. Yeah, seems pretty fucking crazy. I mean, I don't know. There's just like 3 images here, but I mean, that's kind of neat that you're gonna be able to, you know, do Sonic Riders stuff in a game in 2025. Like, that's cute.
Perverse.
I don't know enough about Sonic to tell you about other things. There's a dinosaur. I don't know if you know anything about a big dinosaur.
A big dinosaur in Sonic?
It's red. Yeah. Big red dinosaur. But I mean, I don't know. Who fucking knows? This might be from like a demo thing, and then maybe later on they're going to be like, oh, but by the way, hey, Kiryu's in it. Or Ichiban's racing, you know? Like, which, I mean, I'll fucking lose my mind. And also, Ichiban could be on a variety of vehicles, you know? He does his... Like,
they're putting Dragon Kart back in that Majima game that comes out next week.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay. Because, yeah, I was going to say they had Kart, and then you could also have him, like, you know, on his delivery app. They could have him riding around on the bicycle. Yeah. Or the trash bike, too, when he's rolling.
That's true. That's a third. Yeah. Ichiban really got around.
He did.
Kiryu only had a taxi.
I mean, well, I think you can... I think you can do the recycling minigame as Kiryu in
7.
Manual Races.
Yeah, you. No, it was in 8. In 8, you could.
Oh, in 8. Okay. Right.
That's true.
But still, yeah. I mean, he would drive his taxi though. I would be very upset if he couldn't drive the taxi. Oh man, if they're doing a new Crazy Taxi, they got to put Kiryu in it. He's got to be a guest character in a new Crazy Taxi. If they do that, fuck, they got to do that.
I bet they will.
Yeah.
Have you seen Monkey Ball? They put Among Us crewmen
That's true.
there.
He's
They'll
in
do
there.
Anything.
They put Among Us. They put Amongst in there, yeah. Rose, what else have you been playing?
I beat Which Spring R, which I know Lorelai has played before. Mm-hmm. I think it was on one of her Game of the Year lists, like maybe 2 years ago or something, or maybe last year. I don't remember. I think it was last year. It came out, yeah. But yeah, it's like an Atelier-like, sort of. It was it's a Korean game made based on phone games, a series of phone games called Witch Spring. And they basically remade these phone games as a standard JRPG, very much in the vein of Atelier. And it was, the phone games were raising sims, if you know what those are, like a princess maker or what have you. I don't even know of a better comparison. A lot of VNs and Otome games style stuff, but you basically you put stats into this lady, and then she, based on events you choose to do and your stat checks, etc., you would get certain story paths and things would happen. So the idea in those games is obviously replayability. You can see a bunch of different events. You meet certain checks to do certain things. You're spec'd for certain ideas and things you can do. But this is a normal JRPG, so you don't do that. But a lot of those systems and the structure of the game is still predicated around the idea of, being a raising sim. So it creates this really weird vibe where there's not much of a structure to what you're doing, and there's a lot of weird difficulty curves, but that it's never too bad or anything. It's just weird in a way that's like, oh, right, this was a raising sim. Kind of. When I played Dragon Age Veilguard, I had this overwhelming feeling of this was a live service game, right? And you could feel it in every aspect of what you're doing. The wide open maps that don't go anywhere, the side quests having story writing, but it being largely disconnected, and it just being you going through a prefab dungeon and killing 5 things, the way you would in a live service game. And this is the same way. I was funny playing these kind of almost back to back of oh yeah, this game is supposed to be a raising sim. And you see that a lot through there's one of my biggest complaints was they had this side quests. Every side quest in the game, you can't finish any of them if you miss a consumable item. So that you could, if you consume that item, you pick it up and it just says eat it or whatever, and you get 5 HP for your character or whatever. If you do that, you can't wake up a turtle, which is the only thing you can use to ride around in the ocean or any body of water in that game. So you just can't finish any of the side quests if you don't do that. And then there's a bunch of weird stuff if you missed talking to this man who's hidden behind a tent, you can't get the secret ending where you fight a super boss or whatever. There's a bunch of weird stuff like that where it's that sounds horrible in a normal JRPG, but then you think about it as a raising sim, and it's oh, of course, this was a shorter game. I was supposed to lose, and then go, oh my god, I could have used this on the turtle, but now it's a 20-hour JRPG. So you're not going to replay it just because you missed the turtle.
Yeah.
So it even though I like a lot of parts of it, it's pretty I really like the setup of the world and stuff. It's basically this idea that there's this race of people who are they're just called witches, but they have other name for what they are, obviously. But there's witches, and there's witch hunts, and there's an evil pope, and they kind of get into this interesting world structure of who are the gods of this land, what happened in this war that happened 20 years ago. Just a lot of sort of novel. It's very straightforward, but I really appreciated how novel everything was. It felt very I watch those isekai garbage stuff so often.
You sure do. And
I'll mainly do it because I see one concept in it that I'm oh, that's cute. That's a fun concept. This is a more healthy version of interacting with something like that, because it's obviously the game is fun to play. Okay. But it was sort of that thing of oh, this is a concept from a weird light novel that I would go, oh, that's really cool. But it's obviously it's still in a pretty basic format. But I was by the time I got to the end, the pacing is just so weird because again, it's structured. They're just fitting everything in. So it's not there's actually meaningful missable events. It's just side stuff or something like that. So it's sure. You're just seeing all of these character things resolve really fast, because they were supposed to be entire routes, right, that you choose to do. And there's this really funny one where it's I think there's this character that is clearly there was a romance option you could do for the game or whatever, where it's oh yeah, if you do all the events with this character, you can get a romance end with him or whatever. But instead, because that doesn't exist anymore and you don't make any choices, it just feels like randomly at the end of the game, it's like, all right, you are romancing this guy. And it's like, what? Because they just tried to fit everything in, and that was his route. But I gained a lot more respect once I saw and the credits started to roll, and it was like 3 people made this game. And I was like, okay, well.
Right, okay.
But it's a fun little game. I think my main problem with it, I know a lot of people who really like it. Like Lorelai liked it. I have a couple other friends who really like it. I think my main problem is I play a lot of Atelier games, and those are made as JRPGs first and foremost, so you don't have that weird translation error sort of mechanics. But I still think this is fun, and especially because it's short. Like I said, 20 hours for a JRPG is pretty short.
Right.
And the gameplay has a lot of weird depth to it that if you play on the harder stuff, you actually have to really think about like what turn you're using defenses on, what pets you're bringing into a fight, because you're like a witch, you can get pets and stuff like that to help out. You don't get a traditional party member ever. You just get pets you can summon, and you can get like 20 different pets that you can like build up, and they all do different moves depending on what turn it is and stuff like that, which is cool.
That's cool.
But it was neat. I still enjoyed playing it, though. I was like, by the time I got to the end and it was just like running through the Animal House ending of like all these routes rapid fire, I was like, this is maybe you guys need to take a step back when you make whatever Witch Spring R2, the remake of the second game or whatever. Because I think for 3 people it's really impressive. It's really, really impressive. Like it's on the level of like the presentation of maybe some of the more budget ateliers, but still like 3 people versus like a whole development team. I'm really interested to see what they do, especially if they made an original game and not just remakes going forward. Because I think they have a lot of fun ideas of how to like take raising game mechanics and put them into a normal game without that sort of format. But also I think raising games could be popular right now. People really like roguelikes. I think there's a chance. I think if someone made a CRPG style raising sim like Baldur's Gate 3, I think people could get really into that. Yeah, I played that, and then I also played Dynasty Warriors Origins, and I don't have much to say about that other than it is written by the Three Houses writer, one of them. And boy, howdy, can you tell it? Because I mean, I think I said to Wheels, our friend Wheels, that I think the funniest thing about this game is I was playing it, and having just played Koei Tecmo's Three Hopes, Fire Emblem Three Hopes, the Muso they made, that was the Dynasty Warriors. That was like, I think, the last Warriors game they made. I was just thinking, like, were the developers of that game just all of a sudden like, wait a minute, we have 3 things at home. Like, we could do this, because that's sort of how it feels. Like, you pick which faction you want to join, and then like you have all these beautiful romantic conversations with all of the various warriors. It's fun though. I don't really have much to say because I don't want to trivialize Dynasty Warriors. Don't get me wrong. It's a storied legacy franchise, but you know what those games are like. And
right.
It's very much of the same, though. I think they really overhauled the gameplay in a way that makes it so that it doesn't just feel like you're just mashing the one combo you do that's really good all the time. I think there's a lot of reactional based stuff. There's a lot of parries. There's a lot of dodging and then doing big, cool, fancy moves. And being able to switch a bunch of different weapons, and they all feel meaningfully different. I was initially worried that it was going to be a game where you only have one character instead of the ensemble cast, kind of. But the combination of being able to use those characters every so often and they're super strong, and also the fact that all those weapons feel meaningfully different, means that it doesn't feel that bad. It feels fine. And I think that they're kind of setting up this being an Origins style game, that maybe the next game they'll start letting you be other people again. But I was really impressed with it. I don't know if it's worth $70. I'll say that. I don't like to talk about game pricing because I don't. I feel like it's a complex thing to talk about. But $70 is crazy for a Dynasty Warriors game to me.
$70 is crazy for pretty much anything. I would say, yeah.
But like, to me, Dynasty Warriors in my head is a game you see in the bin at GameStop that costs $17. And you're like, all right, sure. So it's just like, to me, it's like, oh, wow, yeah, $70, huh? Okay. I guess you're kind of seeing that with Ubisoft suffering from that extremely. Of like, of just like, they're not selling anything at $70 because everyone knows their games will be that price, kind of. That's a tangent. I don't know. Yeah, I've been playing so many games. I'm scared, John, because I don't know if you've seen the upcoming releases for the next 2 months, but it's
fucked.
It's fucked. It's so fucked.
Like, I try not to be, I'm not as in the loop as many people in the sense that, like, I'm not buying stuff like crazy. But yeah, we got a new fucking Yakuza coming out. Listen, I got shit that nobody else in the world cares about, all right? I'm gonna have to juggle the Yakuza game, and they're doing that re-release of all the shitty Yu-Gi-Oh games.
Yeah.
And I'm buying that. I'm getting that. I'm gonna try to get a review copy, but if I can't, I gotta go out and buy a copy of that. Not just because I want to play all those games, but it does come with a promo Harpy's Feather Duster, and I want to make sure that I get that, because I don't think I have a copy of Harpy's Feather Duster. I could use a copy of Harpy's Feather Duster if I ever play the physical game again, which I have no idea if I'm going to. But look, those games are like all horrible, and I can't wait to check them out. But yeah, thank you so much for all that, running us through all that stuff. What else is going on?
I was just gonna say I'm terrified of games coming out on my end, because it's like we got the Yakuza game, which looks like a whole ass game. I thought they were saying it was shorter, and then it's like, yeah, it's like 70 hours. And I was like, oh, great, cool, yeah, okay. And it looks good. That's the problem, right?
Yes.
It looks so good. Majima can juggle people. And then Monster Hunter, that's a forever game. That's coming out.
That's a forever game.
And then fucking the Atelier game, the actual Atelier game is coming out next month. The Yumiya, which I'm very excited for. God. She has a gun.
She has a gun.
And a motorcycle. I don't know if you saw that video.
I didn't see that. That's crazy.
They announced this cool mechanic where it's like you have points you build up as you're like exploring and stuff, and they let you do things like supercharge your motorcycle or like not take fall damage, and I really like it conceptually.
All right.
But yeah, the Gal Guardians game, the one that I was saying you should play probably because it's going to be a normal Metroidvania.
Yeah, because it's going to be a Metroidvania. Yeah. Ugh.
And then fucking the Generabuchi Rabbit Metroidvania is coming out also, which I'm very excited for. I'm not going to lie to you.
The Suikoden remaster's coming out like the beginning of next month?
That and Lunar.
My God. Oh my God.
Lunar is really soon too. I know. This is what I'm saying. I'm like, oh, fuck. Can we like chill?
Xenoblade Definitive Edition is also next month. Oh my God.
That's next month. Fuck me. I thought that was April. Oh,
it's the 20th. It's the day before the Atelier game.
Okay. Great. There's too many games, is what I'm saying, and they need to chill out. And every time I see someone be like, "Is gaming done?" I'm like, "What world are you in, buddy?"
Okay, Rusty Rabbit and the Lunar remaster are in April.
Okay, those are the ones that are in April. Thank God. Yeah. I had written them down for spring, I think, in my planner.
Yeah, those are in April.
Thank God. Okay, that's not that much better, but because also that other game is coming out, the Expedition game. And Doom, I think, are like around then. Doom is like May, actually, I think, but
I'm scrolling.
But Expedition is like April something, 20th or something.
I don't see a date for Doom on here. Doom. Oh wait, no, I don't. Yeah, Doom: The Dark Ages is May 15th. Let me see. Expedition 33. That is. Oh my God. That's April 15th. Or April 24th. That's like right after Rusty Rabbit and Lunar. Oh my God.
I'm just saying, I'm terrified. I'm just like, I don't know how this is going to happen.
I don't fucking know. At the very least, it seems that maybe after May it'll slow down. Or like I'm looking at. I mean, there's good stuff on here. Like they got Fuga 3, which like I've been wanting to check those games out. I just haven't gotten around to it, and they are selling like a bundle.
They're not that long, which I think will make it. Oh, John,
What?
Croc Legend of the Gobbos remaster. You know, you're excited for that.
I was trying to forget. I was trying to not acknowledge that.
I'm sorry. Okay.
But at the same time, like,
if they add analog control, that's kind of solves, or not analog control. The other thing.
They are adding it. They are adding 3D movement. So, what if it's good?
It could be. I mean, I've always liked it more than you, obviously, but I'm not going to come out here and act like it's an amazing game by any stretch of the imagination. But look, it could be better.
I'll put it out because look, I'm gonna have a little bit of money here and there now because I'm working, but I guess I'll just put it out there. Argonaut, if you hear word of how much I hate Croc, I am open to changing my tune. Like I will try the new one. Just get it into my hands somehow. I don't know if like fly me over there. I think they're in like Britain or something. Yeah, fly me over there. I'll play Croc. I'll tell you if it's a crock of shit or not. That's what we got to do. That's the mission. I'll fly over there and tell you if it's a crock of shit.
Speaking of crocks of shit, there was one other game on this upcoming list that I was curious if you were going to try.
Which one?
That would be the 100-line Last Defense Academy. That's coming out in April.
I don't know if I can. I'm not strong enough. Not strong enough. That game is so telegraphed. Like that is just a Danganronpa. Like it is going to be in the Danganronpa universe. Monokuma's going to show up halfway through. It's going to happen. It's so fucking obvious.
What if instead Kaname Date shows up?
Okay, that would be kind of peak, but
it's not going to happen. But
it's not going to happen. The middle ground funny thing that would happen, but would not be badass. It would just be funny. Is if Yuma Coco Head shows up, that would be funny. But I doubt that he will. Because I know that would be too funny.
Don't like that game, but I cannot lie to you. I think about Yuma Coco Head like every day.
His name's Yuma Coco Head.
Because he has a cocoa head.
Man. That game could have been so
It could have been good.
Was like it was close. Lined up. It was lined up for me to like it.
Yeah.
They made a new Junko. And they fucking screwed it up. They blew it. I'm so mad. We gotta move on before I go off too far about this. You have just posted an emote in our chat, which is Yuma Coco Head with a red circle and cross across it, and it's Yuma Auntie.
We couldn't stop posting Yuma Coco Head all the time, and people were getting mad, so we gave them an emote that they could use.
I respect that because. It's a symbol that I agree with. This is you could if you put this on a flag, I would salute it. That's what I'm saying. Like, all right. Well, thank you so much for this conversation. We can move on to questions. If you want to send in a question, there's a variety of ways to get it to us. We have the best way I would say is still our Tumblr. We have our Tumblr, which is gamesline.tumblr.com/ask. We also have our Discord server, which is if you go to the gamezone.zone in your browser, you can join the Discord server. And then we have a thread where you can send questions. I always link to the thread every time we record an episode, or you can just look in the threads on the top of the screen. You can also reply to us on like Blue Sky or whatever. We'll catch it if we can. If we miss it, we'll see it next time. I'm going to take one last look at the account to make sure nobody tweeted at us. All right, yeah, nobody did. Okay, or not tweet, Blue Skyed us. They sky us? But here's some questions here. First off, from I'm gonna guess it's pronounced like Phoenix. It's like Fen X Chiral. Phoenix Chiral, maybe. Apologize for that if I pronounced your Tumblr URL incorrectly. But they ask, in an ideal world, what do you think the Final Fantasy XIV 8.0 job overhaul looks like? Rose, go for it.
Yeah, okay. I'm not going to pretend to be... I mean, I don't actually need to pretend because I play too much of that game that I can be considered an expert, I guess. I think... So basically, for context, John, people have been complaining. You might remember from Game of the Year, we complained about the homogenization like 2 years ago, about how they like cut down everything to line up for a 2-minute timer, basically. So everything sort of just functions around the idea that everything is predicated on this 2-minute timer. So the combat became a lot more basic because of it. So like every job basically feels very similar because they're all supposed to do things in line with that timer. And they've said that going into the next expansion, which I hated this so much. When the new expansion was coming out, Dawn Trail, they had a thing where people were like, hey, are you going to make the jobs more complex? And they were like, look forward to that in the next one. And it's like, cool, like 2 years from now? What are you talking about, man? That's crazy. But they have said they're going to like try to focus on like making them feel really distinct again. So that's basically all I want. I think they need to basically reevaluate everything about timers. I hate timers. The idea that everything's based around that 2-minute timer is really bad. I think it's fine. Like, I think there are even smart ways to do the 2-minute timer. Because you could just make some things 60 seconds long, make some things 120 seconds long, make some things 180 seconds or something like that, right? You could have like tiers of where it goes. As is right now, it just means everyone is just basically lining up Xenoblade style burst window. And it gets old after a while. Like, you know, saving all of your moves for the dump phase, kind of. And I think, like, if we're in my ideal world, they just stop that and they just make it so that every move can have their own burst phase and it doesn't need to be determined on when a Dragoon pressed a button somewhere else or something like that. Because then it lets them make moves feel a lot more dynamic and they don't have to be like, well, this move has to last 2 seconds long because it has to, you know, whatever, math it out so that it lines up perfectly. I think there needs to be a lot more fluidity. I think you still see that in some jobs, like Black Mage has never changed. So Black Mage gets to be very unique still. But all those tanks end up feeling exactly the same because they have to all line up their timers and they have to have their specific defense move be identical to the other defense move, because then someone will complain that the defense move doesn't line up perfectly at this exact time. And guess you need to stop listening to feedback. I think that's what it comes down to when I'm talking about this stuff, is I think we've seen an overwhelming thing happen in multiplayer and long running games where people listen to streamers and people listen to very loud voices on forums and they just keep changing the game to accommodate a fake person that doesn't exist, because those people don't actually know what they want. Streamers don't know what they want because they're thinking about the game as a means of them getting money and they want that to be an easy experience for them naturally.
Yeah.
And also streamers just like in other games like shooters and stuff, streamers just want to win all the time, right? So they're just like, oh, change this so I win. But then forum people, it's the same thing, kind of. It's a means of getting attention. It's a means of talking. It's a means of asserting yourself as a unique individual. So it's just like these complaints aren't actually measured and considered. They're just sort of being thrown out there for the sake of having it and having a gut reaction to something without thinking it through. And they've adjusted the game around these people. So I want them to stop doing that. I think they should look at FF11. They should look at things like FF11. They need to stop being precious about things. FF11 famously just lets you be a blue mage and solo everything in that game, and they don't just like lock you away in a separate world like Final Fantasy XIV does if you're a blue mage. I think just in general they need to stop being precious about things. They need to stop caring about world first races and balancing around world first races. I hate that so much. And they need to get more fun with it. World of Warcraft famously course adjusted recently, and I think that's a good thing to look at, where they added back talent trees to World of Warcraft in the last expansion. And that meant that you could do a lot more sort of dynamic and unique things. Like you didn't have to just be a fire mage that does this specific fire thing when you're the fire mage. You could be a fire mage that makes lava pools instead or something like that, as an example. And that sort of dynamicism is something that Final Fantasy XIV kind of has never had, but I think that they could approach it they could approach something like that. I'm not saying they need to do talent trees, but maybe something like, hey, you know, maybe there are 2 different ways that this class could approach this fight. And I think that would be a lot more interesting than where we're currently at. Because right now it just feels like I play a very simple job in my raid, and it feels like I do the same thing in every fight, even if the fight mechanics are different. It feels like I'm never thinking about how I need to change what move I'm doing. And I think the game used to be a lot more like that. It used to be like, oh, think about this. Think about when you're going to line up your DOTs. That's another thing. Add DOTs back, please. Please add DOTs back. They removed them from everyone, and that hurt healers a lot because it just meant that healers are the DOT class. Yeah, I see a lot of people. Sorry for this Final Fantasy rant, John.
No, I mean that's what the people want.
But yeah, I think that like when it comes down to it, they really need to stop being precious about everything. Everything has been designed in a way that they can just easily develop for games and not have to think too much about like doing a ton of balancing passes and stuff like that, because they're focused on making sure that content gets out there. But as Final Fantasy XIV has continued to be like, hey, we need more dev time, we haven't really seen that reflected in like it was almost something you could forgive before because they were pumping out like a patch every 3 months. Now it's like 5 months. So it's just sort of like now things are taking forever, and they're making it easier for them to not do anything all the time. So it's like, stop that. Just like be weird. It's fine if a job is broken every once in a while. Like it's totally fine. Like I'd rather have one job be busted and all of them feel different than all of them feel exactly the same all the time and nothing can ever really happen.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I think that they should make it so if you don't like a job, if enough people vote that they don't like it, then it's gone from the game forever. That's
I
what I think they should do.
Also, I like that idea. I think they should. RuneScape kind of does that. They have that community poll where they're like, should we remove this feature? Should we add this feature? And I think that's really funny every time. Because it's just like, I just remember the people being like, should we add banks? And everyone be like, no.
No, they should just remove a class every couple months until they just have one. That's it. Everyone plays the same character.
Yeah, there you go. And then you can just make that one class have a bunch of different options. And then no one's complaining because it's like, oh, this class is so complicated.
Yeah, but so much variety. I can do all these things that I used to do as all these other jobs, but now just in this one job. I guess that's how you trick them.
That's how you trick them.
Avian Crystal asked, favorite evil choices in games? When do you like to be evil?
I think I've ranted about evil choices in games several times because they're usually pretty bad and don't make any sense. Like Mass Effect is the perfect example, where Mass Effect 3 is just a series of your character making insane decisions that benefit no one in an apocalypse. So I think I usually run into that problem. I think the new Dragon Age really had that problem of like not having any evil decisions because that's kind of where they were at. But I think the earlier Dragon Ages had some pretty good evil decisions. Like what things you can do to that final boss in Dragon Age Origins, the final human boss, where it's just like, you could kill him, you could force him to become a Grey Warden like you or whatever, which is like a soldier who exists just to fight demons in hell forever. You could force him to die for you in the final boss by like just as like a body shield, basically, sort of. And like there's just so many different weird things. You can exile him to the wastes. Like there's so many different things you can do to him that I really like. That I wish that was more in line of what evil choices were like, kind of just like maybe not necessarily like outright evil, but like rude as hell kind of choices, like just like spiteful choices. If you're talking about like genuine evil choices, though, Tyranny's really good. I don't know if you've ever seen that game before.
I've heard of it.
It's basically a game predicated on the idea that you have to just make evil choices all the time because you're kind of an agent of the evil empire. And you're on this planet where there's like different factions and you make different choices depending on what faction you're in and all these other things, but you have to make evil choices all the time in that. And I think that's really interesting because I think people generally want to be nice. So it means that the bad routes usually end up underdeveloped, like those Mass Effect things, because it's like a lower group of people who would do it. But like, if you make it a situation where you feel like you have to, you can do a lot of really interesting stuff. Which is why I always prefer that over something like The Witcher. I mean, like, there is an interesting angle of like Witcher game choices where it's like you could just play as a straight-laced Witcher, right? And just be like, I'm taking my money, I'm going. But it's like, you get less writing, you get less everything. I think that I think that Baldur's Gate 3 proves that people yearn for weirdly in-depth evil routes.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I don't really... It's kind of hard to think, because, I don't really go for evil routes most of the time.
Right. I'm the same way, where it's just like, you want to see the characters have a nice time, right? Like, you just want to... These are your oomphs.
Okay, here. Two of them that I can think of off the top of my head. The alternate route in Live Alive, where you just play as all the final bosses and kill all the characters. That's fucking classic.
That's pretty cool.
I love that. And then the short route in Fate Samurai Remnant, where you just become like evil Iori, and
I did like that. That's true.
Yeah, where you just like succumb to your bloodlust and fight Musashi and all that. That was cool.
I have problems with that game, but I genuinely really like how the early game is like saying like, you were born in the wrong era, and everyone thinks that means that he's too nice, and then it's like, no, he was born in the wrong era because he wants to kill 7,000 guys forever in the wasteland.
Yeah,
it's a really good bit.
Just shit's going down in the grasslands. That's something that I realized. Not a lot of people are having battles in the grasslands anymore.
No. That's why people fall into the trap of believing nothing ever happens, you know? It's just like...
Exactly.
Back then, you saw something happen every day. Honor was on the line.
You went by the grasslands and you're like, all right, well, there's a conflict. We got to see it.
Mowing lawns has made people become really lazy. I feel like that was the thing. You used to have like two samurai like do that yai dash at each other, and it would cut most of your lawn. Really
exactly, nice. And now we're just using machines.
AI takes everything from us.
I taught my lawnmower how to read. Now it wants to be paid. All right, last question from Chellabuster, who says, "Hi Gamesline, will you be my Valentine? And if not me, whose Valentine will you be?" So the way that this is asked is like the collective website. So does the website Gamesline have a Valentine?
No.
I think
not.
I would say no, but I guess my question is like, what would a website having a Valentine be? Would it have to be another website? Like, does Gamesline as a website?
I think if perhaps on Valentine's Day there was a specific game we were fixated on and discuss and like platforming on the website, that would be its Valentine. You know, like for example, that Elden Ring thing's on the web on Valentine's Day, right? So like if we had like, hey, we're playing Elden Ring, I would say that would be Gamesline's Valentine, right?
See, the thing is that's logical, and I'm trying to be insane about it.
Okay, you're right. Like you want another website like that's like, oh hi,
oh my god,
VGM Hurdle. I don't know.
VGM Hurdle?
VGM Hurdle.
Oh my god. Okay, I will say, if we're gonna... Okay, they stopped doing VGM Bandle. They stopped updating that, which I'm upset about. I don't know what happened, but they're not doing VG Bandle anymore. But, oh my god, can I just say the worst... I'm not afraid to say this.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk shit live here. The worst dull is Gamedle. The Gamedle one.
You hate Gamedle? I love Gamedle.
I hate it. Specifically, the the last one. I don't mind the rest of them.
Okay.
But the last one where it's just guess a game, completely random. Sometimes it would not be that bad if some of the genres weren't just asinine.
That is the problem, and I will grant you that. I do it all the time, but that is definitely the part that I like the least because, I mean, I like thinking about angles of it, but I think their information is too wrong.
Yes.
Because I've filed complaints. I file complaints to them all the time. Basically, I send in bug reports. Because, for example, they list Devil May Cry 5 as having multiplayer. They have it listed as having multiplayer and co-op. They also list The Order 1886 as having multiplayer. Which is just, neither of those are true.
Oh God, what was it? There was one where I was really mad about it. Oh yeah, I remember what it was. The answer was, I think it was Smash Ultimate. But what happened was I started to narrow it down via like Nintendo or whatever, and it got to like, okay, it's on the Switch. So I chose Pikmin 3 or Pikmin 4. And then it was like, it's in the Pikmin series, but it's not Pikmin 4.
No.
And so it was like, it's like that.
Yeah, it's
that
like same saga, different, or
it's not,
same, whatever. Oh.
Yeah, Smash Brothers is not the same. Like, no, it's a crossover fighter. It's not in the saga. Ugh. That pissed me off a lot.
I could see that. No, I definitely.
That kind of stuff brings my blood to a boil. But, whatever. Yeah, me saying it's the worst still is me being hyperbolic.
No, but I get what you mean. That last category,
it drives me nuts every time.
The thing that gets me is when it's obvious they have a bias. The same problem with those VGM bundles, etc., where it's just like all fucking Mario music. But it's like, Persona 5 and Breath of the Wild have 7,000 genres and shit applied to them that like cover every conceivable aspect of the game. But then you'll put in, what was it yesterday? It was like some game, and it was just like, what genre is this? Action. It's just action.
It's
just
interactive
action?
Media.
And
okay,
it was just and it was like some game that you could apply like 4 things onto, but it was just like, no, it's just action.
Yeah.
No, I understand they're sourcing it from IGDB. It can only go so far, but they need someone to clean that shit up because it is bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But yeah, I guess that's my anti-Valentine. My anti-Valentine is the game. Is the game dull? Guess the game.
The guess the part.
Yeah,
I like Guess the Game. The website. The Guess the Game. The one that's the screenshot of 5/6 screenshots. Sometimes though,
that's a good one.
That first one, the first screenshot, I'm like, this is misrepresentative. Well, it's not. Like, there's some where they like zoom in and it looks like it's 240p, and then you're like, what is this? And then it's like, oh no, it's just zooming in on a floor tile in a game that came out last year. And it's like, all right, come on.
All right, so I do have one more question about the guess the game thing. Do you have a go-to first game that you guess? Like, you know how in people in Wordle they have their like first word that they throw out. Do you have a first game?
So I mentioned it, but I do the Order 1886.
That's a safe one. That's a good one. I do.
My reasoning is
Banjo-Kazooie, which
I like Banjo-Kazooie, but
yeah,
the reason I do Order is it's 10 years old, so we get a pretty good, like, is it older or is it newer? And if it's older, then you go, like, I immediately go to 360 era and we get another, like, split. And it's like, oh, is it newer? Then I know that it's, like, it's a good year. And also it's third person. I used to do Oblivion or Skyrim, rather, I mean, because it's first and third person. So you get the idea, it's one of these. But I think they added VR to its tag eventually, so I was like, which
it's like technically
shouldn't be a thing if you ask me. That's first person. If it's VR, it's first person.
Shaking my head right now.
There's just I like Game Duel, but you're completely right that there's a bunch of little things that are like, come on now. I like their keywords category also, though it's really funny when it's just something that's like dragon, age as 2 different keywords, and you're like, well, geez, I wonder what this one's gonna be. Like sequel, bear and bird. I'm like, oh well.
know.
It could be anything.
All right. Well, thank you, Rose. Thank you for being on. It's always a treat to have you on. Real quick, everybody, if you want to check out our stuff, you can go to gamesline.net. Yeah, Rose just posted a new review. Maverick just posted a review of Metaphor.
I was really glad he did that because I you know me, I've always been a proponent of late reviews. I think it's great. I think just getting that critical information out there in the world is the most important part.
Yeah. If you want to keep up with us, I know that everyone's getting off of Twitter. I know it sucks, but if you're still on there for whatever reason, it's the at the games line. We're still on there for now. Probably gonna step back a bit from that. We're just kind of using it for, blasting articles, basically. But if you want to keep up with us and you don't want to be on the state-sanctioned fascist social media, that'll be Blue Sky, gamesline.net on Blue Sky. And then we have our Tumblr, gamesline.tumblr.com. You can put a /ask at the end of that to send questions. We have our Facebook, which also, I guess, is kind of like
the
Twitter,
hell world, yeah.
But also, I like looking at Facebook Marketplace because A, sometimes you get some good deals.
You're the retro gamer, I know, yeah.
A, you get some good deals and stuff, and B, sometimes you look on there and you see somebody trying to sell used cloth diapers.
I saw the you post them, but I see them elsewhere all the time. The people with the custom game art on their games they're trying to sell, and that's fascinating to me.
Yeah, the one. God, I just. It wasn't on Facebook Marketplace. It was in some group that I was in. But it was some guy who was basically saying, like, hey, I ordered, like, horny fan art covers for. I don't remember what game it was. It might have been, like, Nier Automata or whatever. But he was, like. Upset at the thought of his children finding it, and I was like, dog, you fucking custom ordered it.
You did it, yeah. What?
Like, just like if you want to look at porno, look at it on your computer away from the game room. Like, what are you doing? Hello? Think, please. Oh my god.
It's scary stuff out there.
Anyway, yeah, we do post stuff on Facebook sometimes. Facebook.com/gamesline. We're YouTube.com/@the-gamesline. We're running some ideas around. We're trying to think of stuff. Twitch.tv/GameslineTV, which we just stream stuff sometimes. I keep trying to tell myself to do more streams. I don't know. It's at the very least, I am planning. I don't know how many streams I'm going to do, but I do really want to stream the Yu-Gi-Oh! The early days collection. I want to play that on stream because I want to try to bring someone on who doesn't know shit about Yu-Gi-Oh! To just kind of be like, what the fuck is going on with these games? So, yeah, I'm planning on doing that. I don't know when it'll be because I'm going to have to figure out who wants to do it and when and all that, but we'll figure that out. Patreon.com/gamesline. We haven't done anything on there in a long time, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna make it real here. We are planning on recording another episode of the anime podcast very soon, probably like next week. I don't know fully what exactly we're going to be doing for that. I know that we were, supposed to watch something. We got to get back on the horse. That's what we're gonna focus on. We're getting back on the horse. So, give us a little bit to acclimate, get back to it. But it's going to come back, and it'll be, Patreon early. So if you want to get on that, $3 a month, that's all it is. You get to hear the stuff early. If not, it's just a week. But it really does help us. More funds would be very helpful to us, for buying games and, potential, any kind of stuff. The more money we got to play with, the more stuff we can do. So that is important. Like, we have to hit a certain amount of money to pay for our bill every year, but that we're okay with that right now. But more funds is always helpful. And then we have our Discord server, thegamezone.zone. Type that into your web browser to bring you there. You can ask questions in there. You can hang out. We've got a couple of people in there that are hanging out. We could always use some more folks. I don't know. I might try to stream some stuff in there sometime too. We'll see. And thank you to Melt Channel / Magic Circuit for a theme song Crush off of the album Magic is Real. If you want to listen to their stuff, it's meltchannel.bandcamp.com or magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. Remember, you can always buy their music, Bandcamp Friday, first Friday of every month. Get it. Rose, where can people find you?
Twitter, it's always Horngal, HORNGAL. Over on the Blue Sky website, I'm Fata Morgana, Blue Sky Social. I don't even know how that stuff works. Fata Morgana, like the video game, the Italian concept.
I mean, it's a good username. It's a good new username. I dig it.
I was glad I could grab it so early.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'll be honest. I'm doing like some of the cross posting on like Twitter and Blue Sky, but I am trying to just move over to Blue Sky. I'll be honest. Like,
I just need them to put more tools in for muting, and then I will be.
It seems like they're working. Yeah, they're working on it. Like, I've already seen that they're doing options where like only followers can reply to stuff because so many people were getting pissed about their tweets showing up in the like For You or whatever, the recommended feed, and just having like a bunch of dumb liberals reply to them.
I don't even post that much on there, and every time I make a serious post about a game, it's like being on Twitter in 2018 again. Like, just some guy just shows up and goes like, "Hey, you're crazy," and it's like, okay. It seems like people still search on that website, which scares me.
Yeah, it's bizarre. But yeah, I mean, yes, I'm still on Twitter at JOHN_MICHONSKI. We'll fucking see how long that is. But yeah, on Blue Sky, it's just at JOHNMICHON. John Machon. That is me on Blue Sky. And yeah, I mean, yeah, the Gamesline thing will be on there. I think LV said that she's gonna tweet or live blog the state of play that's coming up. I don't know. That could be cool. That could suck. I don't know. We'll see.
I loved seeing, I know we were just talking about leakers, but I love seeing like leakers say PlayStation fans should be excited. And I was like, okay, great. Thanks, leaker.
I mean, I bet. Thank you. PlayStation fans should be pissed as shit after this next.
That's what I mean. Like, what's going to happen? Like, they just say it every single time. They're always just like, well, I think Nintendo fans will be happy with this direct. And it's like, yeah, probably. When aren't they? When are they not happy?
Well, let's be honest. There probably won't be, because if they announce 3 RPGs in one Nintendo Direct, it makes everyone piss and shit.
This becomes World War II again for some reason.
Oh my god, yeah. Ugh.
I think it's funny that Fire Emblem's finally escaped from that. I guess Engage didn't, but when 3 Houses, I just remember them being like, "Oh no, 3 Houses is great, yay!"
They're fucking crazy. I don't know.
They're crazy. I don't know. Mario's anime.
Kind of it, yeah. I mean, there is that like OVA.
So
yeah,
they should look in the mirror.
It's true.
I don't know how that would help them, but
I don't know. Rose, thank you so much for being on. It's always a pleasure, and thank you all for listening. We will be back soon with another episode of the Gamesline podcast. So long.